Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. All my stuff is linked down below. I'm just gonna hang out, do a vlog today. Today is October 2nd, and I am sending out the early copies of my book today. We're sending out the early ebooks for Ruthless, which is the last book of the Marionettes series. It comes out on October 22nd, but there were a couple of ways that you could get an early copy, and so I'm sending all of those out today because I actually wasn't supposed to get it back from my proofreader until today, but I got it back a week early. So now it's going out early and it's going to my audiobook narrator. The thing is, when I get a book back from my proofreader, I'll do another proofread myself. Maxine is. If you watch the vlogs, you know she does this every time. Get it, Max. Oh. Don't watch her though. What was I saying? Basically, I'm sending out the early ebook because I need something to make me stop messing with it. Usually when I get a book back from a proofreader, I'll proofread it again, I'll look through it myself, but I don't really change anything major other than finding typos or whatever. And for whatever reason this time, I cannot stop messing with it. Like, I'm doing a full-on line edit. Again, I've already line edited it. I'm messing with it too much. I'm overthinking it too much, I'm getting stressed about it, and I just need to, it needs to be done, and I need to not mess with it anymore. So once people start reading it, once it's out in the first reader's hands, then I feel like I can't change it anymore, other than like fixing typos or whatever. So we're gonna send it out, and we're just gonna, it's done. We're gonna stop overthinking it. We're gonna stop stressing about it, even though I'm definitely gonna be stressed about it once I send it to people. But I need it to just be officially done. But other than that, we're mainly focusing on doing the sprayed edges for the Kickstarter books. I'm waiting to hear back from the artist who I'm commissioning for artwork in the back of the hardcover, but I can finish formatting and getting the paperback ready to print, although I'll need to reach back out to my cover designer to adjust the cover file now that I know the final page count. So I'm still kind of like waiting on a few other people before I can finish this, but now my battery is dying. So that's it. Happy Monday, welcome back to a new vlog. I just walked and got myself a coffee. It's gonna be a good day today. I have decided there was no other option. Okay, here we go. This is going to 42 people. Not a lot, not a little. I'm like I just like went through and like checked everything again. Okay. I don't know why this feels so, I'm more stressed about this one than previous ones. Okay. I just used the certified mail and book funnel option. So in the next 10 minutes. It's a really long book and it's Monday. How long do we think it's gonna take someone to finish it? Who's gonna be the first? Will I know? Will they post a review and then I'll know, or will I just not know? I don't know. We've moved on to a Final Destination rewatch in the background. I have been wrapping some books, but I can't paint them right now because it is currently raining. I also finally decided to start my own puzzle. I just felt like I haven't had time to do it lately. I have so many other things to do, but yesterday I decided to go ahead and start it, and this is how far I've gotten. It's actually quite challenging. It's taking me a while. I also packed up a giveaway winner box for a paperback of the Marionettes from Instagram. I need to walk that to the post office too, but again, it's raining, so I don't really want to do that right now. I'm so tired. I got like 5 hours of sleep last night because the cats were going crazy and just kept waking me up. So honestly, I might just take a break and sit here and work on my puzzle for a while. I do want to try and get like a good deal of books wrapped. Even if I can't paint them today, then I'll have them set to go and I can try and get a lot done tomorrow. I also need to start ordering all of the packing and shipping supplies for the Kickstarter orders. I'm gonna need to get a couple of different sized boxes, so I need to figure out exactly which ones I'm getting and how many of which, because depending on if people got like one book, a full set of paperbacks, a full set of hardcovers, a full set of both, because some people got that, and a puzzle, like I need various sizes for all of the different like variations of how big it could be. And I am finding trying to figure out what the number is going to be for like how many orders need to be this big. It's not easy to find in either the Kickstarter dashboard or the backer kit one. If there's a way to do it, I have yet to figure it out. So I'm kind of just estimating. Which worst comes to worst, I have some extra boxes and I can use them for when I sell stuff off the shop anyways. I just don't want to not order enough because I'm gonna have to pay for shipping to get all the stuff to me. So I guess just ordering in bulk and hoping for the best. Hey. Oh my god, my voice. It's Tuesday. I'm having such a slow start today. I went to bed so late and I slept in and I don't feel like doing anything today. But like we did in the last vlog where I answered questions that people commented on the previous one. There was one question that someone asked that's relevant. They asked, what's your favorite movie and show that you like to watch and what do you not like to watch? So I just thought this would be a good excuse because I just went and saw 10 last night and I wanted to talk about it. So. But I also started watching a new show. So just in general, what I've been watching, I wanted to chat about. If you don't care, you can skip this, it's fine. But I was so excited to go see this new Saw movie because, I mean, in general, I like horror and I like the Saw movies. So I was excited to see a new one. I don't really talk about horror that much on this channel, I don't think. But if there happens to be some crossover on this channel and you're into that kind of stuff, I do have a couple of videos talking about it over on my second channel. But I was mainly really excited about this one because I saw the reviews for it, and the reviews this movie was getting, it's like unheard of. In general, critics don't review horror movies well. Like, it's an underappreciated genre. It's misunderstood, and critics tend to just kind of give really bad, like Rotten Tomatoes kind of ratings to horror movies, but specifically the Saw franchise. If you look back at the previous movies, I want to say the lowest one has like under a 10% rating, and then the highest one is the first one at a 50%. And as of right now, let me check, Saw 10 is at like 80-something% from the critics, which is just 84, which is, or no, it's at 82, and 91 for the audience. So for any horror movie to be ranked highly by critics, that makes me take notice. But specifically to see a Saw movie ranked that high, I was like, this movie must be like really freaking good. I also think part of it is just like the times, because the first movie came out 20 years ago, and I think this type of movie with like a bunch of violence and gore and stuff is more accepted now and more common now, and maybe people's opinions on horror have changed a little bit in 20 years. But anyway, this being the 10th movie in a franchise, I feel like there was a lot of potential for it to be like a throwaway random installment cash grab. And so to see such good reviews of it and people saying this was like their favorite in the franchise and saying this was like really getting back to Saw's roots and it was more like the first couple, I went in with like really high hopes. If you don't know anything about the Saw movies, this one is technically between movies 1 and 2, so even though it's the 10th movie, it's kind of like 1.5 on the timeline. So I think a lot of like OG fans were excited to be back to familiar characters and back in that specific timeline. I don't know how much to say, I don't want to spoil it, although the movie has been out for 20 years. So long story short, I did enjoy it. I kind of wish I hadn't seen all of the reviews and stuff before going in, because I went in with real high expectations. So if I went in with like normal Saw expectations, I think I would have been as blown away as everyone else. I still liked it, but I came out of it being like, oh, okay, like I see why you got the good reviews, instead of being like, oh my god. If you've never seen a Saw movie, would not recommend starting with this one. But if you have seen them and you were kind of like wavering on whether or not you wanted to see this one, I definitely think you should. I don't know how it would fall on my ranking, but this is definitely the best installment that's come out in a long time, in my opinion. I can make a whole video talking about this, so I won't get too much into it. But I did quite enjoy how it did feel more similar to movies 1 through 3 in the like I have very specific things that I enjoy in the Saw movies that vary throughout the franchise, because the main villain of the movie, the Jigsaw Killer, has apprentices, so depending on which apprentice is like setting up the games in different parts of the franchise, the rules of the games work very differently. And I much prefer the like original 3 like philosophy of these traps that people in are meant to teach the person a lesson, and there is a chance of survival. They're given a choice and they have an opportunity, like a fair chance to get out of the trap. You kind of lose that in the later movies where there's traps with 2 people in it and one of them has to die, or someone's being tested and they are finding other people in traps and they have to get that person out of the trap, so the person in the trap itself has no agency and no ability to save themselves. I find those much less compelling. So getting back to a movie where all of the people in the traps have a chance of survival and they're in charge of their own fate. I really enjoyed getting back to that. It's also just interesting to see a franchise that spanned 20 years and the first one had such a low budget. So like seeing the difference in the quality of the film now is interesting, but it's also impressive how well it's still like tried to stay true to the original. I don't really know how to explain what I mean there. But with this 20-year gap too, I'm curious to see. I feel like there's a potential to bring in a lot of new people into the franchise who were too young to get into it 20 years ago. I mean, myself included. I was born in 96 and the first one came out in 2004. So I was like 8. So I definitely did not watch these like as they were coming out. And with how well this has done at the box office, and it kind of sets up for another one, I think we will be seeing more. And I'm impressed they are 10 movies in and it doesn't feel like it's a series that's like just going on and needed to end already. Mr. Dean? What's the matter? Come here. Just want to say hello too. Anyway, the other thing I've been watching is I started watching the show The Discovery of Witches. Dean! Discovery of Witches. Yeah, I started watching the show. I don't know what it's on. Is it on Amazon Stars? Something like that? I think I'm like 3 episodes in so far and I like it. I didn't realize there were like vampires and stuff in it. This is a fun time. I'm enjoying it. As far as work stuff today, I am working on the bonus material for the Ruthless hardcover. I'm getting a little nervous because I still don't have the character art back yet and I haven't been able to get a hold of the artist. I thought it would be done by now. And even though the book doesn't come out for a few more weeks, I do have to upload the files early. Especially for Ingram Spark, they'll start, I think you have to get them in like a good 10 days early. So I want to upload the files pretty soon here and I'm getting a little nervous. And I'm still waiting on my cover designer to update the files so I can order the physical copies of the paperbacks. But it looks like it might rain later, but it's not raining right now. So I am gonna also try and get some more books sprayed. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna rain today, so we should be able to get a good deal in. I've got quite a few wrapped up and ready to go today. I'm going out of town towards the end of this month too, like literally right before the book release. So I'm trying to get everything done before that. Then I have another trip in November and another one in December. So my schedule's just about to get like kind of very disruptive. And I have a hard time with changes in my routine and then like getting back and like focused when I'm moving around that much. So I'm trying to like get done everything I need to get done before all that happens. Let me see if there were any other questions I wanted to answer. In general, I don't know if I have a favorite movie. Clearly I like horror movies. I also like rom-coms, so it depends on which mood I'm in. And in general, I rewatch shows, so the fact that I'm like watching new stuff right now is odd behavior for me. Some good rewatch things for me: Grey's Anatomy, Vampire Diaries, any kind of like OG 2000 stuff. I'll like start a rewatch and I'll get like a few seasons in and I just don't ever finish it. Like One Tree Hill. What other stuff have I rewatched lately? I like Shark Tank a lot. I also tend to really like documentary stuff, specifically more like pop culture or documentaries about athletes and sports, which is strange because I don't really follow sports. But if there's a documentary about like something behind the scenes going on in a sport, I find those fascinating. Someone did ask me about vendor shows. So I've never personally been to one. I've been seeing a lot of my author friends doing that kind of stuff this year and I've been experiencing some serious FOMO. It's just honestly like never occurred to me to like try to like set that up. And to me, I feel like doing that would be more for the experience, more because it's fun. Maybe you know some of the people there, you're networking, less as a super like lucrative, profitable move. Because like renting the space and stuff costs and getting yourself there, getting all your stuff there, I don't feel like it's going to be super profitable, especially considering like how much time you're putting into it and like how much your time is worth. To me, I look at that and like I would need another reason to do that other than just like selling books, because I feel like I can sell the same amount of books, if not more, in a day if I were to stay home and like batch make some TikToks, you know? So it's not something I've ever done, doesn't mean I never will. I get questions often about like, what other books do you plan on writing? Are there any other genres you want to try? I feel like I've answered this question quite a bit. I can't remember if it's been on YouTube or on Patreon, so I don't want to be like repetitive and say the same thing a million times. In general, I'm not planning on branching out the genres that I'm writing or what I want to continue writing, because I'm trying to actually narrow in and be a little more well branded and marketable. So I'm trying to stay in my lane a little bit more rather than dipping my toe all over the place. That's gonna be it for now, I think. If you have questions that you want answered in the next vlog, feel free to let me know. I know this clip was predominantly me talking about Saw. So if any of you happen to also be horror movie watchers, I don't know how much crossover there is on this channel. I'm feeling very small. I would be really curious though to hear your thoughts if you have seen it or if you're planning on seeing it. It's been a while since I've seen a movie that like afterwards I just really wanted to talk about it. No. Slippery slope, it's not enough to please you.